In the world of cybersecurity, some of the absolute most dangerous attacks aren't the big flashy ones you see coming. Nope. They're the ones that hide inside the software you already know and trust. We're talking about DLL hijacking, a really clever technique that can turn your favorite programs into weapons against you. So let's break down exactly how it works. Think about it. You go to launch your favorite media player, or maybe a game you play every single day, something you trust completely. But what if, just beneath the surface, it's secretly running malicious code? I mean, how is that even possible? Well, the answer lies in a little thing called a DLL. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to talk about what DLLs are. Imagine a program is like a car being built on an assembly line. It doesn't make every single part from scratch, right? It pulls in specialized components like engines and wheels from different suppliers. In the software world, those components are DLLs, or dynamic link libraries. They're little bundles of code that handle specific jobs, and lots of different programs can share them to get things done. So how do attackers twist this system? Well, the most common method works kinda like a warehouse switch. The whole goal is to trick an application into picking up a malicious part from the wrong place. Here's the sneaky part. When a program needs a DLL, the operating system looks for it in a very specific order of locations, and it always starts with the application's own folder. Attackers totally exploit this. They just drop a malicious DLL with the exact same name as a legitimate one right into that first location. The system finds the fake one first, loads it up, and never even bothers looking for the real one. Game over. Let's look at this side by side. See? In both cases, the application's request is exactly the same. Hey, I need tools.dll. The only thing that changes is where the system looks first. By planting that fake DLL right in the local folder, the attacker completely changes the outcome. They hijack the whole process before the system even gets a chance to find the good file. But what if the attacker doesn't want to just rely on the search order? There's a more subtle technique called DLL sideloading. You can think of this one as using a trusted delivery truck to sneak a malicious package right past security. Now, with sideloading, the target isn't the search path, it's the program itself, a legitimate, digitally signed, trusted program. A lot of these applications are designed to load helper DLLs from their own folder. So an attacker just swaps out that legitimate helper file with their own malicious version. The operating system sees this trusted program launching, and by extension, it just assumes the DLL it's loading is trustworthy too. And here's the real kicker. That legitimate program, like an updater, is the thing that kicks it all off. But because it loads the fake helper DLL, the attacker's code inherits all the trust and all the permissions of that legitimate updater. It's really the perfect disguise. Okay, let's just pause for a second and compare these two. Classic DLL hijacking is all about exploiting this search order. The system finds the bad file almost by accident, just because it was in the right place at the right time. Sideloading, on the other hand, exploits trust. The bad file gets loaded on purpose by a legitimate program that has been totally tricked. All right, on to our third method, which is a bit more opportunistic. This one's called the phantom DLL attack. Go back to our factory analogy. Imagine the factory keeps putting in an order for a part that the original supplier actually stopped making years ago. That open request creates the perfect opportunity for a new malicious supplier to step right in and fill the order. This happens a lot with older software. A program gets updated, a feature gets removed, but some old code still tries to load a DLL that isn't there anymore. An attacker who discovers this phantom dependency can just create a malicious file with that exact name. When the program goes looking for it again, it finds the attacker's file and loads it up, thinking it finally found its long-lost part. And finally, we have the most sophisticated method of them all, DLL proxying. This is the perfect impersonator. The malicious DLL doesn't just replace the real one, it pretends to be it, does its dirty work, and then quietly lets the real DLL finish the job so no one gets suspicious. This technique is just incredibly stealthy. The attacker's proxy DLL intercepts the request from the application and runs its malicious code first. But here's the truly brilliant part. It then forwards the original request on to the real DLL, so the application gets the result it was expecting, the program works perfectly, and nobody is the wiser. So there you have it, 4 different ways attackers can sneak into a system by messing with DLLs. They can trick the search order, they can piggyback on a trusted app, they can fill a vacant slot, or they can act as a stealthy middleman. Each one is just a different path to the same goal, getting malicious code to run under the cover of a totally legitimate process. So, what's the one thing that connects all of these attacks? It's the exploitation of trust. I mean, our systems are literally built on the assumption that an application and all its little components, its entire digital supply chain, are all working together honestly. DLL hijacking shatters that fundamental trust. And that leaves us with a pretty sobering thought, doesn't it? This technique turns the very architecture of our software against us. It really makes you wonder, as you go about your day using dozens of trusted applications, in which one might an attacker be hiding next?